Hi, today we're back with Dr. Ninh to have a little bit more of a conversation about his life and experience on the 16th of March of 2010. Hello, Dr. Ninh, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Greeting to YouTubers.
Dr. Ninh, you mentioned last time that you decided to leave the country, to escape the country by boat. Obviously, you must have known there were many dangers involved. Did this affect your decision-making when you decided to leave the country, or how did this affect the process of thinking that you had?
I do know all the risks and dangers of escaping the country by boat, especially a flimsy fishing boat. And particularly in my case, I escaped the country by boat during the monsoon season, the typhoon season, during which there are very often rough sea beside typhoon that can occur anytime. So still I decide to go because life living under the communists is not worth living. At the time there is a Vietnamese saying that nếu mà cái cột đèn nó biết đi thì nó cũng đi. Electric poles, if they can move, they still want to go. So I made a decision to go. I did not regret, even though during the trip I lost my 2.5 years son because of dehydration.
So you mentioned that you made the decision to go, and I think you started talking a little bit about your experience. Can you go into a little bit more detail about your experience out at sea, or how you came about finding a boat?
Well, yes, it's pure luck that I find the organizer of the trip. My brother, who is a doctor, and after his release from the concentration camp, he was assigned to work in a private clinic confiscated by the communist government after the owner left the country. One day there are two girls coming to his office asking, one complaining of dizziness and the other complaining of nausea and vomiting. He looked at them, they are all healthy, examination negative, and he knows right away that the girl came trying to get some seasickness medication. He didn't say a word, he gave them medications. From the sample left over in the medicine cabinet of the clinic. The reason the sample are left there because the communist secretary doesn't know what is the medication for. So a few days later the girl came again and asked for the same medication, saying that they are very good. And my brother told him that he knows that they are trying to escape the country, but anyway he gave them. Because of that, the girl asked him whether or not he only go. He said that yes, I do, but I don't have money. A few days later the girl came back again and said, hey doc, I've talked to my mothers and she said that if you want to go, you can go and pay her later. So my brother go, and because of that I know the organizer, the mother of the daughters, who did not leave at the same time. She stayed behind to organize another trip to make some more money, and I by pure luck that I have the occasion to go, the chance to go, and it's a very, very risky dangerous trip because the night when we tried to board the fishing boat at Vũng Tàu, we were stopped by a patrol boat, but we managed to escape them. And because of that, we cannot, the organizer cannot have to drop behind a group of 10 people in charge of bringing water and food. So we left without food and water. But still, we survived 6 days and nights at rough sea. And on the 12 hours before landing in Pagasa Island, my son, 2.5 years old, died together with a baby in the boat because of dehydration. And we are all dehydrated, my daughters and myself confused at the time. But still we survived. And then still there is luck because, roughly the same time, there is another boat landing in an island about a few miles from our island, Pak Asa Island. That island was occupied by the Vietnamese Navy, and the boat was machine gunned, broken, and sunk. All died except one teenager who clung to a piece of wood, and he was rescued by the patrol boat of the Philippine Navy who occupied the Pak Asa Island. So it's luck that we landed in the Pak Asa Island, but also very bad luck because I lost my son.
And now that you look back after having lost your son and survived such a terrible ordeal, and after having made a life for yourself in America, and then seeing the developments that have happened in Vietnam since 1975, do you ever regret your decision to leave the country? And seeing how things are and considering the circumstances that are in Vietnam currently, would you ever consider moving back?
Well, there's some people say that the situation in Vietnam now is much better. There is apparently a big improvement, big progress, prosperity. But this is only in appearance. It's not real. Life in Vietnam now is not worth living still to my thinking, because only those who submit themselves to be subservient to the communist officials, to the all-powerful but rude but cruel official, that they can prosper. And they have to lie, to cheat, to look away from abuses and vices and everything. You can see it, you can daily. And these are reported in even the communist newspaper and internet. So I cannot live on that kind of situation. I can look away from those things. And you have to know that I have made a decision to leave the country because I want to have a decent life, a life with dignity, with originality and personality. So I'm not going back until the communist is gone. That means that under the communist system there is no decent life.
Well, thank you for your thoughts and ideas and your experience, and hopefully we can continue this conversation further the next time when we talk in more detail about your thoughts on the communist government or your experience out at sea. Thank you, Dr. Ninh, for your time.
Thank you again, and bye-bye.